Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad called on China's top leadership Monday to help solve the problems of his country, as he is trying to revise major projects funded by Beijing under his scandal-plagued predecessor. The 93-year-old leader, who returned for a second term as prime minister following a shock election victory in May, has railed against a series of deals struck by Chinese state-owned companies by the administration of the ousted leader Najib Razak. His government has suspended China-backed projects worth more than $22 billion, including a major rail link. And Mahathir has pledged to raise the issue of what he views as unfair terms related to some deals on his 5-day trip. During a press conference with Premier Li Keqiang at Beijing's Great Hall of the People, Mahathir thanked China for agreeing to increase imports of specialty agricultural products such as durian. But even as he welcomed the agreements, Mahathir also said he expected more from the world's second-largest economy. "I believe that China will look sympathetically towards the problems that we have to resolve and perhaps help us in solving some of our internal fiscal problems," he said. Mahathir, who is expected to meet President Xi Jinping on Monday afternoon, also warned that wealthy countries should not use their wealth to take advantage of less developed nations. "There is a new version of colonialism happening because poor countries are unable to compete with rich countries just in terms of free trade. It must also be fair trade," he said. Li said he hoped the two countries would be able to achieve balance in their trade relations. Financial woes during his 9-year rule. Najib was accused of cutting short deals with Beijing in return for help paying off debt linked to a massive financial scandal that ultimately helped bring down his long-ruling coalition. Last week, Mahathir said he would try to cancel or amend the previous agreements with China, stressing that the most important thing for us is to save money. The government has suspended a Chinese-backed project to build pipelines after alleging that almost all the money for the work has been paid, but only a fraction of the project had been completed. Mahathir is trying to reduce Malaysia's national debt, which has ballooned to some $250 billion. Despite the threat to revise China-linked contracts, Mahathir is seeking to strengthen business ties with Beijing during the trip. He met the founder of e-commerce giant Alibaba, Jack Ma, in the eastern city of Hangzhou on Saturday. Mahathir also oversaw the signing of a cooperation agreement between Chinese auto company Geely and troubled Malaysian carmaker Proton. Geely in May took a 49.9% stake in Proton. China is the leading trading partner of Malaysia, which is home to a substantial ethnic Chinese minority. Relations were warmed by the previous government, and Chinese investment in the country surged as Beijing signed deals for major infrastructure and construction projects. But critics said there was often a lack of transparency in the terms, such as interest rates on loans, were unavailable to Malaysia, fueling suspicions about Najib's real motives. Najib and his cronies are charged with plundering billions of dollars from a sovereign wealth fund, 1MDB, in an audacious fraud. Since losing power, Najib has been charged over the scandal and will stand trial. He denies any wrongdoing.